affairs, Donald Trump, every book that they have in the library, they're throwing it at Donald Trump right now just to see what sticks. Anything to keep Donald Trump out of the presidential election, anything to keep Donald Trump out of the presidential race, to keep him out of the White House and experiencing a second term. They're throwing everything at him. Well, guys, the saga continues. It's like a soap opera here. So, Georgia Republicans have just started issuing subpoenas in the probe for Fulton County DA Fani Willis, or Fani Willis, Fanny Pack. I don't know how you pronounce her name exactly, and I'm probably going to get roasted for this, but I'm doing my best here, guys. A state Senate panel will hold a hearing on the Democratic district attorney who's prosecuting former President Donald Trump and could be called as a witness. Now, I've got a lot that I want to share with you guys in this video, so I hope you guys are ready for all this. Delta Airlines, they're handing over flight records for Fani Willis's romantic getaway. More and more evidence is surfacing here. Secret evidence has been exposed regarding Fani Willis being demanded, Delta flight records being sealed. Donald Trump defeats Haley in nearly every Super Tuesday state, setting the stage for a 2024 rematch with President Joe Biden. And guess what? A new poll has come out. Biden should not run for re-election, and Harris would be even worse for the country. So the question is, well, who the heck else is left in line, right? So you got Vivek Ramaswamy claiming that Joe Biden will not be the Democratic nominee. And this is why many people believe that Nikki Haley is collecting a lot of Democratic donations and a lot of Democratic support, especially since she has a lot of Democratic tendencies and has been labeled numerous times as being a rhino, Republican in name only. Now get this, guys. Fani Willis, she warned Nathan Wade's divorce attorney to stay quiet about their affair. And this bombshell new court filing claims Trump prosecutor case gets another twist with a new witness that could very well deliver some devastating testimony. Now, before I even get into this, guys, I can't wait to share this with you guys. Before I get into this, I just want to thank you guys so much for always liking these videos. Thank you so much for liking this video. And I want to thank you guys for sharing this video. We need to stand up to corruption. And this is how we do this. I know you guys got the news, the big Trump win less than 48 hours ago. Trump basically got a unanimous decision from the Colorado Supreme Court that states are not allowed to take him. They're not allowed to take any president off or presidential candidate off of presidential ballots. So this was a massive win, and thankfully, it didn't go the other way, because the last thing you want is states trying to tell you who you can vote for. You know what I mean? So anyway, that was another massive win for former President Donald Trump. But it looks like they're setting Donald Trump up to win again on this one. And not only could he win this thing, but he could take down a lot of people, and some people may end up being completely ruined. Now, before I get to that, the New York judge Arthur Engoron, overseeing the case, ordered former President Donald Trump, the Trump Organization, to pay penalties of $354 million as a result of the verdict, which really, really and truly, it kind of spiraled up to like 455, probably about 456 at this point, $million. But anyway, the judge also barred Trump and his organization's top executives from doing business in New York for 3 years. New York Attorney General Letitia James, apparently her net worth jumped significantly from 2010 to 2023. Now, according to theexpress.com, Letitia James' net worth surprisingly contains extensive real estate portfolio. Now, I can only wonder, has she ever done anything like Donald Trump has been accused of doing? You know what I'm saying? Because we're seeing a lot of this, these prosecuting attorneys coming after Donald Trump, but we're seeing a lot of the same actions being taken by them, which is exactly why Fani Willis's office is being investigated right now. But New York Attorney General Letitia James has accumulated, according to theexpress.com, New York Attorney General Letitia James has accumulated a massive estimated net worth of $15 million since her admission to practice law in the state back in 1989. But James's net worth was estimated to have jumped from $150,000 in 2010 to $14 million in 2023. Now, that's only 13 years to basically amass a $14 million net worth. How does that happen? Now, I see the comments flooding in already, and I'm definitely going to check you guys out in the comments a little bit later in this video, but we got a lot to cover today. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's talk about this Georgia Republican starting to issue subpoenas in the probe of Fulton County DA Fani Willis. A state panel will hold a hearing on the Democratic district attorney who's prosecuting former President Donald Trump and could very well be called as a witness. Oh God, the saga continues, and we're hearing more about Fani Willis in this Trump Georgia trial than we're hearing about Donald Trump. It's almost like Trump is off the hook already. They're now looking the other direction, and that is a brilliant defense attorney from. I should say Donald Trump has a brilliant defense team. The attorneys are just phenomenal. And if I'm not mistaken, I could have sworn that Alina Habba, who represented Donald Trump up in the New York case, is now going to be reallocated to support and defend Donald Trump in this Georgia case. So I got a good feeling that there's going to be some very unexpected rulings being overturned, namely for New York, but we'll get to that in a future video. So for Atlanta, a Republican-led Senate panel in Georgia is moving forward with the public part of its investigation into Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis that could eventually lead to the Democratic DAs being subpoenaed to testify. Now, I've already kind of hinted toward the fact that there is a new witness that has come out and wants to share some damning information. And we're going to get into that later in this video. But it looks like the state Senate's Special Committee on Investigations has already issued a subpoena to Ashley Merchant, the defense attorney who has been leading the efforts to remove Fani Willis from the election interference case against former President Donald Trump. Now, Merchant, the attorney for Trump co-defendant Michael Roman, is expected to testify on Wednesday. Now, this news coming out regarding Georgia issuing subpoenas is literally just a few hours old. So you may not have heard anything about this, but this is a huge movement. This is a massive movement. The panel's purpose is to thoroughly investigate the allegations of misconduct by the district attorney for Fulton County, Fani Willis, relating to the potential conflicts of interest and the misuse of public funds to enact new or amend existing laws and or change state appropriations to restore public confidence in the criminal justice system. This is according to the Senate's website, the state Senate's website. Guys, our very justice system is at risk at the moment, right now. I mean, you can't just sit up there and lie, and you can't change your story in the middle of the game. I mean, come on, guys. And then the sudden amnesia. I think you guys have seen a lot of the testimony take place, so I don't want to bore you with that. But this is what we're seeing here. Merchant has accused Willis of misconduct on the Trump trial, arguing that she failed to disclose this romantic relationship with Nathan Wade, a special prosecutor that she appointed to lead the case. Now, Merchant has alleged that Willis benefited financially because Wade, who's been paid more than like $600,000 for working on the case, took Fani Willis on these extravagant trips. Now, I'm hearing a number of different people, in the comments, in real life, saying, hey, Fani should be disbarred. Everyone involved in this scandal needs to be held accountable for the election interference against President Donald Trump. And how is this not? I mean, it's like this is not like, if you're a Trump fan or not being, this is not about Trump. Trump is the guy in the middle, right? But it's not about Trump per se. It's about playing fair, and it's about the law. It's about the law applying to everyone, not just certain people when you feel like it's convenient, right? So when you're calling election interference, or when you have someone on trial for election interference, you can't at the same time be committing election interference, because you're this is pretty much what's happening here. The Democratic Party, the current administration is the Democratic Party, and this is largely being pushed by that organization, by that group of individuals. So when you're charging someone for election interference, you got to be careful that you're not interfering with the election in your attempt to go after someone, right? I'm just putting this out there. So, and the question now is it time for a real RICO case to be filed against the Fulton County DA's office with Fani as so I'm just saying, you're coming after Trump. Willis and Wade last month denied any wrongdoing at a court hearing on the allegations. They're almost offended by the allegations that were placed upon them. They were almost offended during the testimony, during the court hearing. They acknowledged that they dated, but they said that the relationship began after Wade's appointment, and that Willis did not benefit financially from it. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee, who's presiding over the election interference case, he said he hopes to rule on whether to disqualify Willis by the middle of March. Middle of March technically is in about 9 days. So there's that. Now, for Wednesday's Senate hearing, which is in 2 days, Merchant was asked to bring some documents related to the disqualification effort, which are likely to include her lengthy text history with Terrence Bradley. That's going to open up a lot. Additional cans of worms will be likely opened on that day. Wade's former law partner and divorce attorney, according to the copy of the subpoena obtained by the news station. So in court last week, you got Bradley acknowledging that he sent Merchant a text saying Wade and Willis absolutely started dating before Wade was appointed special prosecutor. But he testified that this was based on speculation. So the text says absolutely, but the testimony that he issued was speculatory. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have the entire Webster's dictionary memorized, but absolutely and speculatory, they don't mean the same thing. Absolutely means it's either black or it's white. You can't really mistake in the two, right? Speculative, you're kind of guessing. But when it's absolute, that's confirmational. I'm sorry. I can't. So anyway, So So I really wanted to just kind of touch really quickly on this one here. Trump defeated Haley in nearly every Super Bowl. I said Super Bowl. Trump defeated Haley in nearly every Super Tuesday state, setting the stage for the 2024 rematch with Biden. Trump, who scored some key wins in some states such as Texas and California, is now on the verge of becoming the GOP's presumptive nominee for the third straight election cycle. President Trump swept nearly all of this year's Super Tuesday primaries and caucuses, routing his last major rival for the Republican presidential nomination, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, and putting him within the striking distance of a November rematch with President Joe Biden, the Democrat who beat him in 2020. Now, let me ask you guys, did Biden beat Trump in 2020? This is a serious question. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. Comment down below if Biden beat Trump in 2020. Also, a lot of people are questioning, why is Nikki Haley still in this race? Why is she still in this race? She has no chance to beat Donald Trump. Some people are saying, well, if Nikki Haley stays in the race, in the event that Donald Trump is somehow put in prison, then basically she would be the default Republican nominee. Or she would, so there is that. Do you guys think that Donald Trump will actually be sent away to prison? I mean, if they did, this would be something like what was that person's name that Russian President Vladimir Putin put in jail? I want to say it was like Navalny. That would basically be the same thing, where we're basically like the incumbent president decides that, hey, I can't beat my competition. I cannot, I can't beat my competition. So what can I do? Well, I can try to sabotage his campaign. Well, how can I do that? Well, okay, let me reach out to my contacts and see who I can get to kind of slow this guy down. Let me throw some of these frivolous lawsuits at him. Let me see if I can get him thrown in jail. Let me see if I can bankrupt him. That ought to slow him down. If you don't have any money, you can't really, campaign against me. And then by default, I should win. Theoretically, Fani Willis, Fanny Pack, Fani Willis warned Nathan Wade's divorce lawyer to stay quiet about their affair. Bombshell new court filings claim that Trump's prosecutor case gets another twist with this new witness that could very well deliver some damning testimony. I cannot make this stuff up, guys. I really cannot make this stuff up. So here you have a new witness brought forth by none other than a Donald Trump co-defendant in Georgia, which claims to have overheard Fulton County DA Fani Willis speaking to the former law partner of her former lover and gave what's being described as a warning to not talk about what he knows. Is that witness tampering? I'm not an attorney. I never claimed to be an attorney. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm none of those accredited titles. But, it just seems a little bit like witness tampering. Yeah. So that's just my 2 cents. And with inflation, that really isn't amounting to much. But anyway, so witness Terrence Bradley was a critical witness and a key figure during the court arguments just Friday about whether or not Fani Willis and former boyfriend and special prosecutor Nathan Wade should be disqualified from prosecuting Trump and 18 co-defendants. He repeatedly testified that he couldn't recall information when questions about text and other, questions about text with another attorney about the relationship between Wade and Willis began. Now, come on, guys. First of all, attorneys generally have very good memories, right? I mean, their job is to remember key elements, key pieces of information on the spot. This is how you deliberate in the courtroom. A good attorney is going to have a very good understanding of their case. A good attorney should have some clue about when key dates have taken place. This is how you pass the bar. You have to remember a cluster F of critical dates and previous law cases and Roe versus Wade, like all of these. You have to remember all these critical dates and precedences that were established once certain cases were either won or lost. So you're telling me you can remember all of this information, but you can't remember when your relationship started? Talk about selective amnesia. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at right now, right? A lawyer for defendant David J. Schaefer says in a new filing that Cindy Lee Yeager, a prosecutor from Cobb County, Georgia, has numerous in-person and other conversations with Bradley and said that they discussed information about Willis and Wade. Okay. Oh boy. And so Bradley told Yeager that the two met during a 2019 judicial conference and that Wade began his romantic relationship with the future DA at around this time. So if they met around 2019, and this was during this judicial conference, according to Yeager, or at least according to Bradley, who told Yeager that the two met during this 2019 judicial conference, 2019, and that Wade began his romantic relationship with the future DA. So she wasn't even a district attorney at the time. And that would contradict the testimony by Willis and Nathan Wade. And that the relationship didn't begin until 2022. Now, what's interesting is like, okay, if the boyfriend and girlfriend, if Fani Willis and Nathan Wade, if they're not married, how do you really officially say, hey, our relationship started on such and such a date? Now, this is a serious question for you guys, because if you got married, then obviously there's a certificate, there's a court date when you stood in front of the judge, or if you had a ceremony, you got a marriage license, a marriage certificate with a date on it. But when you're boyfriend and girlfriend, how do you make it official beyond, hey, are we serious or what? It's really just a conversation between you and that person. So this is going to be interesting to see how they prove when this thing started, because this is 2024. A lot of people just, hooking up, and they're not necessarily together. So you can't even say, yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm really interested to see how they define when their relationship started. But yeah, so this thing is definitely unfolding by the day, and I'm keeping close to the details. So I really hope that you guys are appreciating these updates. I love sharing these updates with you guys. Yeah, this thing is definitely about to bust wide open. So but yeah, so let me know what you guys think. I want to jump in the comments with you guys real quick here. Let's see what you guys are saying. So we got Sarah Guffey in here. Ooh, she should be on the stand, she says. Let's see what we got in here. CA Human says, I think Bradley is afraid he's going to get whacked. Wow. Almost makes me think like of The Sopranos or something. I love that series, by the way, back in the day. Let's see. Kenneth W. Wait, you talking about Gorilla Grip Punani? Oh my God, you guys are too much in the comments. CA Hunan. By the way, if you guys appreciate the updates, if you guys appreciate the live, definitely hit the like button for the video. You guys are absolutely amazing. Appreciate you guys hanging out late with me tonight. Man, a lot of you guys in here tonight. What's going on, Catalia? So we got Catalia in the house. We got Heather Miss. We got Renita Pollard, Trump 2024. Whoa, CA Human just hit me with a massive $10 super chat. Awesome. Thank you so much. Do you think the judge will reopen evidence? It's going to be very interesting to see if he does. And the thing is they actually have a very new, I want to say that the judge presiding over this, Judge McAfee, I think that he's only been a judge for less than a year. So I think your guess is as good as mine. But if I'm a new judge, I kind of want to make a name for myself. Now, what kind of name do you want to make for yourself as the new judge of Fulton County? That's going to be real interesting. I'm going to have to plead the fifth on that one. Kenneth W. I'm in Alaska. It's still early. Dallas Haskins Gaming is in here like every time I go live. What's going on? I see you. Big fan. Thank you, James Martinez. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep you guys posted. This is a developing story. I don't want to hold you guys anymore. I just wanted to share those quick updates with you. One of those updates were literally just hours old. Katalia, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for showing love for the channel. I want to thank you guys, all of you guys, for showing love for the channel. Thank you for liking these videos. Thank you for sharing these videos. Like, you guys are absolutely amazing. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. I'm a little bit nasal because I'm kind of like under the weather, so I might sound a little bit weird. But anyway, thanks for rolling with me tonight, and you guys have a great one.